Hello everybody, how you doing today? My name is Crystal, and I decided to start my YouTube page for a reason, and let me share that with you. So hello. um, the reason why I'm just using to start this page is because I see a lot of sites talk about dementia or Alzheimer's or any one of those above. I've never really come across a page that talks about both. What do you do when you're dealing with a loved one that has Alzheimer's and dementia? So I'm gonna shine some light on it. I'm gonna share this little profile with you. Um, and then in the next few days, I'll show you short little clips of me um, giving her meds and some of the stuff we're going through mentally and physically with her. It's not an easy thing. And so the first topic I want to get on is that if you are dealing with a loved one, okay, that has dementia and Alzheimer's, it's never ever easy, okay. Um, I want to show you live footage because I really truly feel that's the most meaningful for one, okay, and then you can watch the video and choose if you can relate to the situation, if you can't relate to the situation. I'm always feeling free to take advice um, and opinions. You can ask me whatever you want to ask me, and I'll be glad to answer it if you choose to ask a question. Um, as a learning aspect, and so, you know, other people, they may think they're alone. They're not alone at all. And, um, you know, it's a very, very hard thing to deal with. Okay. So I want to tell you, you're not alone. You're never alone. Okay. And, um, you know, I just want you to understand that. Okay. So let's begin. Let's start with how I came about doing this, first of all. Okay. Um, it's my mother in law, one. Okay. And I had met her. Um, you know, me and my husband decided to move to where he was. And so I went on that journey and I moved to where he was. Then I finally got to meet his mom. um, and, I just figured, she was that typical, monster in law that we all just thrive not to get, okay? So, I really tried not to let it bother me too much, and I just went about my business and did what I did, you know, um, with my fiance at the time. And if, you probably won't ever see him on video because he does not like camera. Um, and um, for all of you that want to know, so excuse me, I'm just gonna get my coffee because I really need my coffee. Um, in saying that, um, we went through the triumph. We moved to the south, um, and we brought her with us. Now, I already knew that she had some issues. Okay. I'm very close with my husband. We're like best friends. We've been best friends before we got together, before we were in a relationship, before we got married. Um, he's my world, and I love him dearly. And I love her too dearly. She's a little, firecracker at times. Excuse me, that was my phone. So it's you know, just one of those little things. Um, so, we brought her to the South with us and into our new home. And I expect less from him. That's his mom. Okay. Um, things spiraled downhill fairly quick. So I had a lot of questions. Um, I started questioning my husband about his mom, his sisters, and I started questioning this before we even moved because, originally we weren't going to bring her with us. So, in saying that, it was a real eye opener, okay? And I don't know how to put this, but, you know, um, she was here with us back in 2017, and we went through a little incident with her other children. Um, and they came and got her. They thought they could do better. They knew better than the doctors. Um, they were those type of people. Um, then they realized fairly quick they couldn't deal with her. They didn't know how to deal with her. They didn't know how to accept her disease and disorders. Alzheimer's and dementia by themselves is hard to deal with. If you were dealing, with a family member with one of those things, you understand what I'm saying. So to have somebody that have both, it's really trying. Okay, and I have to do a lot of, um, you know, stuff. I had to research. I had to learn. I had to know the pros and the cons. Um, to me, getting myself into this again. When they threw her out, okay, adult agents, where her kids were, called me, and said that she was in the street, she was homeless, she was wandering. They threw her out. So I agreed. Once again, I agreed to bring her into my home and care for her. This time around, she was uh, so spiraled downhill, I didn't know what to think. So I was like, okay, I made a plan of action and I went from A to Z to get that done. And, in the South, it ain't like the city, okay? The doctors, some of them, forgive me, are a little slow and behind modern times, okay? Um, so, and then they're older. So, well, I don't want to diagnose her with that because I don't want somebody to diagnose me with that ever. Um, that type of attitude. So, in saying that, it was never, ever easy. Ever. She had to have tests done. She went to the hospital multiple times. I was going to the doctors with her every day, every other day, constantly. Um, she was having incontinence. She wasn't, she didn't want to admit to it. She was a little embarrassed about it. She's 93 years old, and as you know, if you're a woman watching this, that would be embarrassing to tell somebody. You know, I'm in my 40s and I would never want to tell anybody that I peed myself or pooped myself, okay? So, in saying that, I understood, okay? So, I respected her privacy and, I tried to go about it in a manner, to try to get her to understand. Um, well, things are spiral downward. I'm the biggest bitch in the world. Excuse my French. But I am going to be blunt on here because you people need to understand the truth. Okay, this ain't no joke. This disease. And there's nothing good about it at all. And I love her dearly. Um, I lost my dad last year. I thank my sister of she was always been there for me. But she reached out to try to locate me and couldn't locate me. I'm a daddy's little girl, okay? My dad was my world. So, and I know I'm getting off beat, but you're going to understand where I'm going with this. Um, I wasn't able to be there for my dad when he passed, okay? And I feel he was murdered by the nursing home um, in Massachusetts where he is. Okay? And um, so, and I want to make one thing clear that for any family members that come across this video and want to come up here and act like a donkey's butt, that's fine. You can do that. But let me make one thing clear. I don't care if my dad adopted my sister or not, okay? She's my freaking sister. You have no right to disrespect her or disrespect my dad, neither. And that gets me to another point. If you don't like what I have to say or you don't like what I'm saying, move it on. Go somewhere else. Don't put the drama here, because if I see the drama here, I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna not allow you on here. So I'm just saying, move on. Go watch somebody else. Okay? This is real. This is real life, real situations, real everything. Okay? And I'm gonna keep it real. And now, with losing my dad, um, let me get back to the situation. Sorry, but losing my dad, that was very hard for me because I wasn't there for him. Um, and it still to this day, eats at me. So I didn't want my husband going through that. Okay, so she was in a home. The home was the ghetto. It was in the ghetto. Um, and they did not care for her at all. Okay, um, she came back to me. She went there to get, so they could stabilize her medication. Um, for the dementia and the Alzheimer's once she was diagnosed with that. Okay, and I'm sorry, I know I'm all over the page here, but I want you to understand why she was there. Okay, um, and to get her stabled. Okay, so she was stabled, and she came back to the house. Now she's been back 4 weeks, um, and it's been crazy. It's been crazy. Now, mind you, they lowered her dose, and this nursing home, and I'm just gonna blurt it out there because I don't really care. Okay, um, the Whitney place up here in the South, they mistreated my mom. She's my mother-in-law, like I said, but I call her mom. Okay, they mistreated her. They didn't feed her right. She was filthy. She came to my house with bruises. She called me crying for days and weeks, saying they were mistreating her. Um, and so I did what I did. I brought her home. Against all odds, my husband did not want to deal with this again under no circumstance. Um, but I said, hey, this is your mom. You have one mom, and I will do it. You'll still be here with your mom because I don't ever want you to feel like you weren't there for your mom when she passes. So I do a lot of it because I committed to that, okay? So don't dog him. He took care of his daddy for years and did it by himself. And I give this man more props than meets the eye, okay? Um, and that was hard for him. He was as closest to his daddy as I was mine. So, in saying that, now our new chapter with our new journey with her, they lowered her dose before releasing her to come home, which should have never happened, but they did it, okay? And um, and then I called them and questioned them about all that, and I also questioned them about how come she has these marks on her, and she had a scab that was on her elbow, um, and it looked like it was 3 layers, literally. So I questioned it, and oh, we don't know how she got it. We didn't know she had that. Um, so then my question was, didn't you bathe her? Or didn't a nurse assistant bathe her? Did she have a bath time? Was she got undressed to get into the shower with the assistance of a nurse or a nurse's assistant? Well, yeah. I said, so how can they not see something new on somebody's body after you're giving her a bath? So I truly believe they weren't giving her baths. They weren't feeding her properly at all, because it was like night and day when we got her back. She looked like the devil crawled up in her soul and took it. And sadly for me to put it like that, but it is true. Okay. Um, it broke my heart. It broke my heart to pieces. Um, and let me make this clear. I have a lot of support. I have a team. I call it my team. Um, and uh, I go through this agency that deals with nursing homes as well. Um, but they come out to my home. So her doctors do come out to my home. Practitioners do. It's a full staffing, you know, and she has her moments. And I'll give you a prime example. Today is Friday, so yesterday, Thursday, let me tell you exactly what it is. October 15th, she turned around and didn't want to take her pills. Okay. Earlier in the day, she didn't want to eat. Um, I'm not gonna make her eat. Okay, that's just realistic. If she ain't gonna want to eat, I'm not gonna make her eat. Um, she. This is how I know she started to decline with her dementia. Okay, with now with Alzheimer's, they forget to eat. Okay, with dementia, it's not they forget to eat; they forgot they have eaten. So, like she eats her meal, and like an hour or so later, she forgot that she ate her meal. You know, so sometimes you end up feeding them more. Sometimes they don't want to eat at all; they just don't have the appetite. So it's one of those situations. Okay, and this is probably going to be a long video. If I have to make a part two, I will. Um, so they turned around and um, I had to call her, physician today, and they're gonna come out. They want to make sure that she don't have a UTI, which is normal. They will check to make sure she don't have a UTI. Um, Now this disease doesn't get better, okay? And I'm just gonna be honest, and I'm not gonna bullshit you about it. With neither one, and anybody that's in the group could probably tell you the same thing, right? While that's watching, it's hard. It's really hard, and it's hard for a family member to sit there and watch their loved one struggle, to watch them downhill, and basically watching them die slowly. And it's easy. She's my mother-in-law. I love her to death, like my own mother. Using that phrase, I like using loving her to life because that's what I do. Um, and for those that are gonna ask, no, her other kids don't bother with her. Do not bother with her. They don't know how to deal with her condition. They don't want to deal with her condition. They don't want to put up with her condition. Um, I care for her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Um, well, I'll say more like 22 because, my husband does help. He gives me that break when I need it. Um, and thank God for that, because it ain't an easy task caring for her. Not at all. And I, you know, he allows me to sleep in because I'll be up all night dealing with her. So he'll get up and he'll deal with her. He'll feed her breakfast. He'll make sure she has her meds. Now, with dementia and Alzheimer's, they will refuse the meds. Eventually, they will refuse the meds. They will also talk crazy. And that's part of the Alzheimer's. They will be verbally abusive to you. Sometimes, sometimes that can be just the Alzheimer's, and their meds need to be adjusted. Sometimes it can be a UTI, urinary tract infection, for those that don't. term. And they need an antibiotic to help clear that. Um, but today, when I talked to the doctor, I explained to them, I can't force her to take her pills. Okay, there's no way. I tried crushing her pills, put it in her food. Um, she'll say no, no, no. I can smell it. I'm not eating it. You know. Uh, so it's just, and it doesn't matter what you give her. You can give her chocolate, and she's gonna tell you no. She knows it's in there, and she may not even see you, but she'll know. Um, and it's really sad. It's devastating to the families. And I feel bad for her siblings because from my experience, and thank God, like I said, for my sister, she was there for my dad towards at the end of the day, um, when he passed, and it was devastating to me because I had family that took that from me. Okay, and although she had it out there, she was looking high and low for me. People knew where I was, they knew how to reach me, and they chose not to. And let me tell you, I have people in my life. I don't have a perfect life. I have people in my life that are outrageously just outright stupid and crazy, okay? And sadly, I'm going to say that. And part of them is one of my daughters. I don't socialize with her. I don't want nothing to do with her. She's just a Looney Tune, you know, one of those things. Okay, so and I'm not gonna, get into that devilish behavior and that devilish nothing. You know, I get up in the morning, I do my devotion. Occasionally when I sleep in, I still get up and do my devotion. One of my best friends, he, um, you know, works in a church, and he is a member of that church, and I value everything. Sometimes, we just talk on a friend note, and sometimes he inspires me. Sometimes, I might say sometimes that might inspire him. You know, it's just, he's a good friend. Honestly, he really is. And I could have asked God to brought a better person in my life besides my husband, okay? Um, he has truly been there for me and my husband, through hell and back, okay? And that's what you call a good friend. No matter what you go through in life, your friends are going to be there for you, okay? The family that cares about you is going to be there for you, okay? They're not going to turn their back and walk away and say, well, fuck it. I feel sad because her other kids did that to her. That is the saddest thing to me. I don't understand it. I don't. And I will never understand it. To be honest with you, it don't make sense to me. Um, and I have one sibling of his that calls me, and she lives, on the other side of the world, and she calls me or her brother daily to check on her mom. You know, um, no, it saddens her to talk to her mom because her mom don't understand her, and you know, anything she's saying. Um, so I talk to her and I tell her how she's doing, and I give her the updates, and I give her all the information to make it clear to her that is where that stands. And there's times I have rough times that I look at my sister-in-law as my sister. you know um she's a good-hearted person. Some people can't deal with family members, um and see their loved ones going through this. It's hard for them. They want to remember their, mom and dad and grandparents and their sisters or brothers, you know, in a good way, And but here's my thing: we are all gonna die from some sort of reason, okay? Um, and that's just realistic. And I'm just being honest. It's real, okay? We're all gonna die. I can cross the road today and die, okay? It's just real. Um, you know, And I have my connections. I've been doing. I'll be doing some freezer meals. Pre-prepping them. I've been watching my girl, and eventually I will link her link down below. She has a large family. She's a wonderful woman. Um, and she does large freezer meals, okay? She has kids that are older, she has kids that are younger. She's my world. I love watching her. She makes me laugh. Um, and she's very much into devotion as much as I am, and that's what I love about her. She sets a plan to get things done. And there's some other stuff I'll do with you guys. If you guys want to see that. I need room. As you can see here, I started painting it. And when mom came, I kind of stopped to try to get her settled. Um, but we are redoing my laundry room. And, there's other stuff I'll take you on. Um, my journey with us. I will do live videos. I will eventually start doing live videos. I need to get a new pod. So I can, so I don't have to keep uploading. And eventually. And I'm trying to figure it out. If anybody knows, just leave a comment down below. Um, my Android just won't do long video recordings for me to upload to YouTube. So I really have, it does it in clips, and I don't like that. I completely erase all my storage on my phone, and it was empty, and I couldn't. So I don't know what the problem is with that, but so I do a lot of it from my YouTube, and maybe one time I'll introduce you. Take my laptop out there so you guys can see live. Um, good days, bad days. And right now, I got to get off of here soon because I have the lab coming out to do it. Do a urine drop for her and to see if she has a UTI. I'm hoping that it's a negative because that to them in their body and their conditions. Sometimes that can make them rapidly go downhill even faster. Um, and I don't want that to happen. So I take full pledge in caring and doing what I got to do for her. I love her dearly. She means, sorry, she means the world to me. She just don't know it. Um, and I wish she could see that. Okay. Honestly and truly, I wish she can see that. And she tells me she knows in her heart, on her good days, she'll tell me, she goes, Crystal, well, Chrissy, I know you love me. I feel it in my heart. Um, but it's not easy, and I'm not gonna lie. And yes, this is really me, my real emotion, and I apologize. Um, but it does break my heart. It breaks my heart to see her like that, and to see what she has to go through. And part of me feels like she suffers. Because imagine the best way for me to describe this disease, like with Alzheimer's, it kills off your brain. Okay? So imagine, waking up and not remembering who you or, you know, dementia, they remember perhaps, maybe the last 20 years if they're lucky, 30 years. Some of them don't remember nothing. They will forget who you are. So it really is hard. Um, so imagine combining those two together, and trying to figure out half of the time which one it is, and how can we deal with this, and how can we make this better for her? How can I make her feel less hopeless, you know? And I know I really can't fix it, and I wish I could, but I can't. So all I can do is keep doing what I'm doing. and keep loving her and keep caring for her and keep fighting for her. Um, when it's bad, good, or indifferent, because at the end of the day, she knows, and I know she knows that she's loved, and I know she don't mean what she says. And I have a personal support team, and I want to shout out to my sister Renette. Thank you, hon, for being there, and thank you for caring for dad. Thank you for caring for mom. Why I'm caring for my mother-in-law. Um, my poor sister, she, you know, took care of my daddy, and then she now is caring for my mom, and it's not easy. And we're going through similar things with two different types of problems. Um, so sometimes, I love talking to my sister. She's my older sister. She's my world. And that's why I said right off rip, I don't care what anybody says. That is my sister, and I will fight for her to the end of the freaking world. Um, and yes, I have more than one sister. But I don't talk to my other sister, and that's just a whole nother blog. Okay. Um, we just, have our differences, you know what I'm saying, on how we do things. And excuse me. Um, I have all this tears and whatnot going in my nose. um, but it's just one of those things. And I hope you guys stay with me on this journey. I want to share this with you, and please comment below. Um, share if you know somebody that's going through it, or as a family member going through this. Please share it down below, and like and comment. Um, and I love you all. Um, we have all a purpose in life, and that's really true. God gave us a journey and a purpose for everything. Honestly, they did. And, um, you know, it's where you take that journey and if you accept that journey. And that's real, okay? I have a lot of friends on YouTube, you know, and they all have different lives, different paths, um, different ways. I love them all, you know. Um, I watch them. I'll share some of them as we go. You'll see me watching them, sometimes. But it's not an easy path, and you guys have to have, and another thing is, you guys have to take time for yourself. And I'm truly learning that. And if you feel yourself getting frustrated, you know, um, if you have somebody there able to, you know, go outside, get some fresh air, go in your room for a minute or go in another room for a minute. If you smoke, go smoke a cigarette, If you drink a cup of coffee, go drink a cup of coffee. I don't tolerate that. I don't agree with that. Sorry. If you want to drink, that's on you. But that really ain't gonna solve you. So, and I'm telling you firsthand, drinking, drugs, any type of alcohol ain't gonna make your problem go. It's making you sober. So, guess what? It's really not worth it for the day. Okay. Okay. Um, I will be praying for each and every one of you, okay, and your families. Um, I hope you have a blessed day, a safe day. Be safe with all this stuff going on in the world today. Um, and my love goes out from my family to yours. Have a blessed day, y'all. Bye.